Hello. Seems I can't even wrap up the day before something ridiculous happens. So, let me see, am I recording? Yeah. Let's get to it. Hmm? So the question then remains, what is eh, the main reason people get these minerals? Is it cosmetic or scientific per se? That is what needs to be discussed. Because if it's purely cosmetic, then it will become a super duper luxury good. But it has to be real. Mm? Now, this is quite a peculiar situation. How this whole thing is unfolding, it seems like it's an assassination. I've been watching this situation before everything went crazy and stuff. People have been talking about this, and somebody out there in the interwebs pointed out something really interesting, right? They say they was showing the raid as it was happening. That's the role of the evil media, right? It was showing the raid as it was happening. That's no way a tactical decision on the people who are going to raid a suspect for something, right? So you have camera crews and everything in there. That should be like our first signal that this whole thing is a setup. Like I said, it's a setup. Don't get me wrong. The things that are happening over there in Babylon, they are worse than you think. Trust me, they are worse than you think. Okay? This is just not even the tip of the iceberg. Not even. So, why this particular case? Why are we not talking about Epstein no more? Talking about the black man? Because it is always about that. It's always about that. Yeah? Now, many people pointed out the fact that it's the issue of the drink company that he was running and promoting, and maybe they had a problem and a quarrel. Now they assassinated his character and everything, back and forth. And well, this here it crosses the line. they want him to die. This is what it is. They want him to die. They're inciting people to go against him. Okay, and it is too of a perfect of a storm for us to be believing this stuff. Okay, remember the two thieves we talked about. They're either going to use your emotion or they're going to use your intelligence. These are the two thieves that we need to be thinking about. Okay, these are the ones that lead souls astray, emotions and intelligence. Okay, we need to be in the middle of these, not leaning on either side. And we see that it is obvious emotional manipulation. Yeah, it is emotional manipulation. You have to look further than the case. Okay, you have to look further than the case. I heard this report that we hear mainly, right? Like these countries, there's a region in this country that, I don't know, it is leading in infection of a certain disease, But the actual reporting should be that this region, people are active for testing. Okay, it's the same thing as this, right? They're using people's emotions, just like how they do when reporting war victims. Yeah, they don't point out, they insist on the women and children part, leaving out the men. And we have grown accustomed to this. You can look it up. You can look up footage, old footage. You can look up old footage on the internet, and trust me, you'll find that this is a fact. Okay, they make it seem like it's all right, you know, for us to just die. That's why this negligence has been happening. Okay, they just want us to die. Now, that's a scary situation right there, right? You know, they have gone as far as to literally program politicians to be like parrots, repeating. The only concern politicians have is just women, children, the youth. Men, they don't even mention. They have no problems. It's because, like most people insinuate, that it seems that at one point in time our forefathers sat in a meeting and somehow decided to launch a campaign towards oppression of women, which is not true. You know, it's not true. Kigwangwala was talking about systematic. You're using big words, my friend, but what does systematic oppression mean? So you're saying that our past had systematic oppression of women. Is that what you're saying? If it is systematic, then it was agreed upon. That's what you make a system out of. And I have never ever been told by the men that I know in my life, inside my family and outside. They never teach me these things. People that I respect, they never teach me these things, that you should beat on your woman, you should. No. So there is no such thing as systematic. This is just the feminist talk, okay? If you look at the feminist conversation, is hatred. It's not progress, as they phrase themselves, as they disguise themselves. They disguise their hatred, their hurt, you know, people bringing their emotions into issues, you know. Again, those two thieves, they bring in their emotions. Maybe they have been hurt in their lives, they have never had a stable relationship. You know how the situation is these days. And they have created this animosity. Maybe they didn't have a father, maybe these things happen, you know, these things happen. But they take it as if the whole world is like that, you know, and that's a really dark corner to be put in. And trust me, it is partially the algorithms, okay, the algorithms. They might be targeting individuals and inciting them and basically pushing them over the limit, you know, making them into lunatics, basically, you know. And this is the fine example of that happening like on a larger scale. Okay, we know he's terrible, but the whole thing, how it was carried out, it provides a slippery slope. It provides an excuse, you know, no matter what this guy supposedly did 30 years ago, I don't know, 20 or whatever years in his past, there is a way you need to handle things. And doing these stunts is one sure sign of something, because why would they want to tip the scales in their favor? I don't know I don't know if you understand what I'm saying here, right? So what I'm saying, this guy has something on some people. This guy has information. This guy has something, and somebody really powerful is doing this to him. And we, the masses, keep cheering on and thinking that maybe if this justice is rendered to this person, then we can feel good about our situation. Okay, remember I told you about the release of pressure, right? They need to have control over the pressure release, yeah, of the stresses they put on society. and this is one of them. Okay, people are venting. Absolutely disgusting. Many people have put this comment there, and I know there are even darker comments out there. People like crying out, yeah, he should be killed. He's done, and from the situation how is escalating, that guy is not safe. He's not safe. Okay, so whatever judgment was to be rendered to him has automatically turned into a death sentence, and we are seeing it happening in real time. Okay, and we should learn from this, not just be participants and cheering on without even understanding and seeing the bigger picture. Okay, so what if all of these accusations are false? People can make footage these days. There is no way you can tell from that footage that that person is Didi or that woman over there is Casey. There's no way. The first time I saw it, I suspected like it is fake. That's what I felt. The woman in the picture, in the footage, is actually like fat a little bit. What I'm saying is that I'm not inclined to believe every title just because I feel some type of way about a person. No, I just need the truth. That's what I'm interested in, not emotions or footage that has not even been verified. Some footage just leaked. It leaked and it went viral. Who leaked it? When? What was he doing with that footage all of this time? It was a form of blackmail. These are cultists. They worship Satan, right? There's no love among them. They blackmail each other back and forth. Maybe this is one of the packages to threaten that guy, to even destroy him completely. Now there is justice has literally evaporated, and people are still cheering on, believing that it is justice. This is the thing right here. This is classic Apollo stuff. We see here, right? We even see this synagogue of Satan agent. He was a perfect setup. He said something very critical on a big television. He was fired and people were cheering him on, right? People were cheering him on, saying like, yo, he's saying what we want to hear, He's basically tickling their fancy. The scripture says about this, you should be wary of people who are saying things that you want to hear. That should be a telltale sign of that person is lying to you. That's a telltale sign of deception. And Trump is a professional at these things, I'm telling you. Right? So it's the same thing as this guy, Tucker Carlson. He was fired from this certain company by saying just coming out and being random and basically he basically suicided himself, and he's now created his own platform and he's just reshaping the narrative on his own ways, And of course, they are all conveniently backing Trump. Not that there are no other options or anything like that. No, they are directly backing him up and saying that like he's been claiming he's the second coming, right? Like, yo, bro. Eh? How can people fall for this nonsense, He's using the Christian image in order to get support, to use your energy for evil, right? To use your consent for evil. He's evil. And Tucker Carlson, people wouldn't like even think that these people is nefarious, No, he's nefarious. He's the second phase. The first phase was an obvious lie, right? An obvious lie. 2019, 2020, obvious lies, giving us fake statistics. You see, we are seeing the amount of graves in Ukraine, right? Does that correlate with all of these quote unquote deaths from the flu that we had? No, it does not correlate. I just ask you, show me the graves. That's all I'm saying. Show me the graves. All of these countries talking big numbers, Italy, India, all of you, show me proof. Do not make me a victim of emotion or statistics. I'm not interested in neither. I want the truth. So he is an agent of the synagogue of Satan, and he is coming out, shaping a story. Of course, he's not gonna say the truth about the complete truth that the Israelites are black. He's not gonna say that, because he's part of the situation, And he talked about this interview, right? He turned this conversation here on the streets to his benefit somehow, empowering women. They're empowering you. They're going to empower women. You're going to feel empowered, whether you like it or not. You're going to be empowered. They're going to empower you, women. Trust me. I think we had a conversation about this tactic here. I mean, you should see. I even left a comment up in there also. Like, this nigga over here trying to bait niggas. And people are pointing out the obvious fact that him and Kamara have put more people in jail. That's what it's about. Jail. It's not about the plant. It's just a means to get people in jail, because the jails have been privatized. It's the business. And the customer is literally tied up in there. And you people are always referring to these people as some form of gods of the law. They can dictate and change the things inconveniently. It's a tactic. Every time these elections come near, they always come up and use this. They use the plant as some form of token to buy people's trusts. And trust me, in my personal life, I trust people who are closer with the plant. That's just me. And that's just an unspoken rule. Okay? Because the issue with this society today is inhibitions. People cannot say what they feel or think. And that's a problem. We need to talk about how we feel and what we think. We need to. That's just part of life. Even the hard things. But people now are so covered in fear and despair. It's embarrassing, really. It's embarrassing. Just like Trump making sneakers, it's embarrassing. Like, sheesh. Like, why are you trying to bait niggas? This is supposedly a release from the house. Now, people are asking, how many days are these people given? And somebody did the work. Now, I don't know if it's a meme, but he did the work. Look at this. Look at this. This is an agenda. And people are playing cowards. And and you'll be surprised that you are my enemy somehow. You're an hypocrite. So much hypocrisy going on in society today. That's the issue. About everything. People just pretending, thinking that it's gonna be fine. No, it's not. It's not. So if you wanna fight me about this, then go ahead. But I've already put my statement out there. Right? I've already put my statement out there. And most importantly, I have backing of the people. So if you say you are the people by the people, then okay, I know people that have left alcohol. Okay? This is just my perspective. Okay, and if that's the problem to you, then don't listen. Don't listen, ignore, live your life. Thinking that, that guy is a crazy person. Live comfortably. You can convince yourself of anything. Right? Like how people have convinced themselves that cholesterol is somehow the problem in society today. Cholesterol, really. What about bioweapons? Why are people not talking about those? Because they are trying to shape the narrative. They are telling you cholesterol. They are killing you with bioweapons. They're crying cholesterol. So as you don't look, you don't research for nothing. It's the same thing what they say about this plant. They tell you, it's bad, it's terrible. Look at this. People are going crazy. You should have seen the advertisements back in the days. They literally say like, you turned people to rapists. What? So you're telling me you eat a plant and you become a rapist? Wow. This is amazing. It makes you crazy. Let's try our intelligence then. I am up for an experimentation. Let's check our reasoning. Intelligence is a vague term. Reasoning, rather. And we shall see if you have the convictions and the reasoning behind your reasons. You ain't got none. You ain't got none. That's the truth. You ain't got none. So until then, these people continue using these things to get votes because they know a lot of people are on it. It's a lucrative business for the prison industry, whatever. The game is different than what you people see outside. When you have private prisons, then you need a reason to put people in there. Now they are coming out, these cowards. Now they are coming out that there are supposed special groups within them that are causing trouble, and they have actually elevated into levels of levels in power. So what? Mention the names and get them out. How about that? If they have a story to paint, if they have a narrative to paint, a narrative of hatred, a narrative of war, a narrative of murder, then get them out. Why are we sitting here talking about it? They're saying for the past 50 years. So what? Since the formation of the nation or what? Huh? And they know that they're settlers. So now you are surprised that they retaliated? Are you crazy? It's like the revolution in Zanzibar, right? What if, like, the day that you attack the Arabs, somehow the Arabs won and the Arabs owned the news and somehow they painted you as terrorists, people who are trying to undermine the economy of Zanzibar, trying to undermine democracy and freedom. Are you going to agree? Or are you going to fight? So they put themselves in this predicament. Now they are coming out and talking about it. Why don't you bring this thing into court, the ICJ thing? Why don't you take it over there and say, okay, yes, we agree. Not only that there are groups of hatred, but also there are groups that do not want to see a two-state solution over there. That being the only solution that one can think of. The only solution. And Babylon has been fighting that vehemently. So people should stop and ask themselves, why? Now for an idiot, he might have economic reasons, or Gaza has resources that they need, this and that, oh, la 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 la. No. Why are they out for blood? There are many ways they could get those resources without any problem. There are many ways they could attain those resources without any problem. But why are they choosing murder as a means? People should ask themselves that. So, to finish off, again, I'm trying to remind niggers, the synagogue of Satan is the enemy of niggers. World Star, I'm quite sure, has a synagogue of Satan member on top of it, a white person. 22 Jump Street, the Adam Savage, I don't know, Adam whatever, a Jew. Vlad, a Jew. So, I'm just pointing out the facts. I'm just pointing out the facts. And these are the same people that be promoting these dangerous cultures. You know how many people have gone on Vlad and end up dead in the streets? Many. How many people talked with Adam in his interviews and ended up dead? Many. Some even have fought live on that situation. So it's a conspiracy. Like they said, we are the biggest threat to their existence, the black people. So this is not a joke. This is what these people think of us. This is what is in their hearts, and they show it every day. They express it. Their hatred, you see it. Not all of them, but a majority. Which makes the minority nothing. So these things will continue to happen and happen and happen and happen and happen. It's a system, but it needs participants. Okay? It needs participants. All of these agendas, they need participants. So they can make laws and whatever, but there are no participants, these things will die. But they want the friction. They want the friction on the technicalities of what are human rights. Yeah? They want the friction. That's what this is about, this agenda here, among many reasons that it exists. They want that friction, people to argue and go at each other, to redefine what human rights are. And from there, it is a slippery slope. Anything goes. It's not a game, yo. It's war. General Easy signing out. Bye.